Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and right now it is our BrickWall Horror Month. That's right, and we are starting to come to the hold up. Y'all already know what it is. It's been a long time, so I had to adjust myself while live. It's crazy. But anyway, it's BrickWall Horror Month, and it's starting to come to a close. So you already know how I get when the month starts to come to a close. I start to drop so much because there's so many movies I want to talk about. And today I'm going to be talking about the movie Opus, starring Ayo Edebiri and John Malkovich. Before I get any further into it, I want to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. You're already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, as well as TikTok, where we are dropping frequent reviews on different shows, movies, and episodes. So make sure you check us out. Show us some love over there as well. And yeah, let's just get into it. So Opus, it follows a journalist played by Ayo Edebiri who gets invited to this resort of sorts that is ran by an artist. Doggone, I forgot the other name, but it's ran by it's ran by an artist that's played by John Malkovich, who is coming out of his hiatus or retirement, however you want to call it. He's coming out of that to drop a new project that he's deeming to be his best project ever, his magnum opus, if you will. Oh, yes, that's so funny. And so while she's there, again, I'll Beard's character, which I'll get into a little bit more. While she's there, she starts to discover or realize that something is a little bit wrong at this place. And maybe there might be a little bit of cult-like activity there. So now she's trying to figure out how she can get off, not just get away from this place, but also solve the mystery of what actually is going on at this resort, on this ranch, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so that's pretty much the basic premise of this movie. I'm not gonna lie, I watched this movie earlier this year. Now this is another movie that while I was on my hiatus and just getting things together, this is the movie I really did want to talk about because I do enjoy Ayo Edebiri. I think she, first of all, this is me shooting a shot, even though I know she may never see this, but I think Ayo Edebiri is one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Shoot me if you want to, but that's not even a hot take. Like, I stand by that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I absolutely love when she's in things. She has a very interesting screen presence. It always draws me in. I always feel like she's playing true to her, true to the types of characters she can play. You know, I love her in The Bear. I've loved her in other things that she was in. She was in Bottoms. I loved her in Bottoms. She voiced the character in Inside Out too. I thought that performance was great. She was on an episode of Abbott Elementary, which I think she was a scene stealer. Come on, so I can go all day. I know the filmography. You know what I'm saying? I had to think about it a little bit. I know the filmography. So I do think that this movie is carried very well by her, and that she does portray this character very well. Her character, in fact, is like I said, she's a journalist, but she's a journalist who wants more. You know, she feels like she writes a lot of small time articles, gets a lot of lower level stories, and she wants to get the bigger story. And so when John Malkovich's character, when he comes back, you know, out of the time and announces his album like this big way, think as if Michael Jackson was still alive and he were to be very mysterious about stuff, and he just out of the blue just announced this big old album or whatever the case may be. And he only invited, not kind of dumping the Michael Jackson analogy out of here, but John Malkovich's character, he invites certain members of the press to come and have this listening party on his ranch or his resort, whatever you want to call it. And he invites different journalists that he either has dealt with before, or has maybe wants to set the record straight with a couple of them. There is some backstory between him and some of the journalists that I won't spoil here in case you decide to watch it. But it is, you know, he does invite them. And Ayo Edebiri, even though she's a younger journalist, she, you know, she's never really met this person. She's only heard his music, you know, just like the same way you would hear anybody, any older artist's music, just heard it through the grapevine and whatnot. She gets an invitation, a personal invitation. Like I say, he sends the personal invitations out to each journalist. So she gets her invitation, and she also is accompanied by her boss. who also gets an invitation. So we're 2 invitations that went out there. And her boss is like, yo, listen, don't do any real stuff. Just take notes of what you see. Just take notes. Don't do any like real journalistic, and leave that to me. You do this the small shit. When if you notice a light bulb, just talk about a light bulb, some shit. Like, so what she ends up, and the music that this artist plays, like, first of all, he's played by John Malkovich, which if you have ever seen a movie with John Malkovich, you know that is a very he's like in the Christoph Waltz class of actors who it's like, okay, you might just be that weird in real life, because he's like his music, and I'm not gonna lie, the music that the artist has, it's actually pretty good. Like I gotta see if that music's like available to actually listen to on Spotify or whatever, because the music's not bad. Like, it's actually really good. You can kind of see why he considers this his big project. He does a couple of listening sessions and everything. And one of the first weird things that that we as the audience, as well as Io DeBeer's character, realize is that things are a little strange when they first get there. They have to give up all the technology, which is understandable. No laptops, no phones, and stuff like that, just to be fully immersed in the experience. So, I mean, that's kind of understandable to an extent, because you don't want anything to leak out before you can officially put it out. Okay, cool. Then it's like this whole dinner thing that they do, and he comes out and gives this whole big presentation, this really funny speech about how he was in a room with Muhammad Ali and Chuck Norris. And that was really, like, the punchline of all that was pretty funny. But then things start to take a weirder turn. Like, each journalist that was invited there is assigned like I think the word is concierge, or pretty much a person that follows them around and like makes sure that they're good. But like, they stand outside of their room every night. There's cameras inside the room, unbeknownst to the guest, and it's only known to us, the audience. And then even weirder is that, like, at one point, they're like, oh, we want to fit you for, the outfit for tonight's dinner. We just want to get your right measurements. Hey, and also, the star, he prefers you have a certain trim down there in your lady area. Yes, like, he has somebody trim and shave her pubic hair. It's like, and she's like freaked out, obviously very freaked out by this, because it's like, that's wildly inappropriate. Why does he even care about what my pubic hair is like how long my pubic hair is? He's not fucking seeing that, is he? So a lot of weird stuff like that goes on. And she also notices that there are a lot of people there, that even younger people, and she's like, this is very interesting. It seems like they're kind of worshiping something. It seems a little cult-like. And she does kind of confront him about it very delicately, and in so many words, he confirms it. I won't get into that entire conversation, but she does get a little bit of confirmation on that, but not any full confirmation. He kind of like dodges it a little bit. It's very interesting. But as things go on, people start to disappear. Stuff gets a little horrific around there. People may or may not be killed. Who knows, right? There's still mysteries around that. And it kind of turns into a fight for survival. And the ending of this movie, actually, I really, really do love it. And the ending of this movie is really what solidified me for wanting to review this, because the ending of this movie and the kind of checkmate that happens, it's like, wow, like I would not have seen that. I actually really didn't even see that coming. Like, it was really unexpected. But then if you go back and watch the movie, you kind of see that it was kind of set up for that the whole time. And even when it's explained and you go back and watch it, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, that makes sense for that to happen that way. One of the things I like about this movie, I like the atmosphere behind it. I love the performances in this movie. They're really, really fun. Like I said, Io DeBeer knocks it out the park, but John Malkovich, again, seasoned talented actor, John fucking Malkovich, is just so good at being not just a haunting character, but also a character that you can kind of, it's like he's some, like, and I guess it kind of is like celebrity culture as well, because like we can spend time around a celebrity and we can feel like, okay, something's a little off, but because they're who they are, we just kind of suck it up. We just kind of be like, all right, well, we're gonna brush that off, and we can still, you know what I'm saying, we can still rock with it a little bit. Like it's not too bad. But when things kind of hit the fan, oh shit, hold up. Y'all gonna like this one. Y'all gonna like this one. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? If you get that reference, drop it in the comments. That's a reference to something. If you get it, let me know in the comments if you get that. If shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Let me know where I got that from. Let me know. Let me know if you know where I got that from in the comments. But anyway, but yeah, the movie's really good. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything because I do think that it's worth the watch to kind of have the things revealed to you, especially with the ending. Like, there's so many different things, especially then when things get ramped up. Oh my gosh, it's like I was scared that let's just say I was afraid this was one of the movies where there wasn't gonna be a final girl or a guy. You know what I mean? Like everything goes to shit. But it didn't. But like I said, that does lead to what the ending actually is. And it's a very strong reveal, and it plays on what you watch the entire time. And it plays on the interactions that John Malkovich's character had with Ira DeBeery's character. So it's really good. I do highly recommend it. It's an A24 film. So if you're a fan of A24 like I am, you probably already know about this movie. Like it. So it got that classic A24 flair to it. What else can I say? Let's see. Is there anything else I want to mention about this film? Not really. Like in terms of like horror, I know I haven't really talked about like the spooky scale for everything this year. But I will say as a horror movie, I can give this about maybe 3.8 out of 5 stars. But as a film, I give it about a solid 4.2 out of 5 stars. It is very enjoyable. I do like it. It's not too long. This is something you can watch. I know I talk about this a lot because I do know I like to show my kids horror movies. But I also like to make sure they're appropriate. They don't have too much of one thing. Like gore and killing is one thing. You can kind of tell them, that's not right. You show the morality of that. But then when it comes down to like a lot of gore and like the nudity behind it and like the possessions and stuff like that, I do want to make sure that that I am providing the safe environment for them to watch that and not be traumatized or not be not things not take a left turn. So I do always like to recommend give you my recommendation as to whether or not you can watch this with your kids or your family or whatever. This is a film that you can watch around your family and whatnot. There's not like crazy nudity or anything like that. There's like a little bit of like sexuality, but because he's an artist, like he'll dance and he'll be like pumping towards something like yeah, especially like one of the songs. I like that movie right there. Anyway, that was the real horror of this review, my dancing. Yeah, so check it out though. It's on HBO Max. Opus, like I said, I give it a 4.2 out of 5 stars. It's definitely worth the watch. Check it out. And you know what I'm saying, if anybody here know Io the Bear, you know what I'm saying, just let her know. I say it was good. Like, I'm not trying to shot or nothing, but I'm just trying to let her know I said fine. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned for more BrickWall horror. Make sure you stay tuned over on the Instagram and on TikTok. I got a lot of reviews over there too, and I will be back with a big review later. 2 big reviews actually later this week. Can't wait to share them with you guys. But until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy, stay spooky and scary. Peace.